This afternoon from the US Studies Centre, we have Dr. David Smith and also Tom Switzer joining us this afternoon. Tom Switzer, let's bring you in first. Just how significant is this win for Mitt Romney in Florida?
Well, actually, it's a very crucial state, as you mentioned, and it's a convincing victory, there's no question. A 15-point disparity almost reflects the disparity between the Romney and Gingrich camps when it comes to spending. Believe it or not, during the course of the last few weeks in Florida, the Romney campaign has spent up to $18 million, the Gingrich campaign only $5 to $6 million. Now you think about that, John McCain, when he ran in 2008, spent about $11 million in all up. So Romney's big money, the organisation has helped smash Gingrich in much the same way that it did in Iowa on January 3.
And we are now seeing live pictures coming to us from Orlando. This is where Newt Gingrich's supporters have gathered. Let's just listen in for a second.
In that particular Congress. Subsequently, Bill went on to become a great Attorney General of Florida, and I'm proud that he's been co-chairman on this campaign. So let me bring up Congressman, Attorney General Bill McCollum.
Well, thank you very much.
We do see Newt Gingrich come to address his supporters. Dr. David Smith, what are you expecting to hear from Newt Gingrich? How would he feel about that 31% of the vote?
Well, I think that what we're going to see is reflected in the signs that we saw being held by his supporters saying 46 states to go. He is going to desperately try to convince potential Conservative supporters that the race isn't over yet, that the vast majority of Republicans are still yet to vote, and this is not a foregone conclusion. And for people who have been crying out for a candidate who is really going to be a lot more aggressive in his treatment of Barack Obama, that he is still the man. So I don't know whether he's going to try to attack Romney in this speech. Certainly I would suggest he's probably going to say a lot, lament a lot about the difficulties of fighting against big establishment money. And so he's now going to reposition himself as an underdog who needs the help of the base to actually be able to fight the Romney money machine. As Tom pointed out, he spent up to $18 million on ads in Florida, Romney. Romney also has been campaigning in Florida since 2008. Gingrich has to go on a state-by-state basis, and so he has to rely on big injections of cash from angelic donors, and so that is what he's got to try and raise.
Tom Switzer, you're coming to this debate from the right-wing perspective of this. We should point out to our viewers that you have an alliance with the coalition here in Australia, so that's the perspective you're coming from today. Which candidate do you think would be best to take on Barack Obama?
Well, there are two schools of thought. If you speak to South Carolinians a week or so ago, they would say overwhelmingly Newt Gingrich, because he's more likely to dole out the ideological red meat to the Conservative base. But if you listen to the Floridian Republicans this evening, all the exit polls makes it quite clear that the most electable candidate is Mitt Romney. And this really tells you a lot about the Republican Party today. It is deeply divided. You have really two camps, and you have throughout the best part of 9 months. Mitt Romney, the establishment candidate, versus anybody but Romney. And the Conservative insurgency, it's not just the Tea Party, but there are social conservatives, economic conservatives, are very nervous about Romney. They think that he is either a closet liberal or a serial flip-flopper, and so that makes him not a very good candidate. Who I think? Well, I think the exit polls nationally make it quite clear, and all the available evidence makes it quite clear that Romney is the best candidate. However, in a general election in the fall, in a time when the Democrats will raise a class warfare issue, when they can portray Mitt Romney as Mr. Monopoly Man, that is, that without the hat and the top hat and the coat, he'll be vulnerable. And I think what the pressure is now on Romney, even though he's had a convincing victory, to make it clear that he's not only tough enough for Barack Obama, but that he can handle attacks about his wealth and his business background. And that'll be a big issue in the second half of the year should he prevail in the nomination.